flipping through the newspapers, switching through multiple news channels, exploring different websites and online mediums for relevant news? Keeping up to date with important news is not only time-consuming but also requires meticulous upkeep of notes for thorough revision. With a limited period in hand and abundant resources to study from, do not let current affairs come in the way of your prelims success. Join the PT 365 program by Vision IAS and advance in your preparation for current affairs. Starting on 9th January at 5 p.m., this 20-day course offers comprehensive coverage of 1 year of current affairs in 60 hours. Join for improved knowledge with complete coverage of The Hindu, Indian Express, PIB, Economic Times, Yojana, Economic Survey, etc. Doubt-clearing sessions and mentoring for thorough knowledge. Access to Sandhan personalized test with 25,000 plus questions. Access to live and online classes for flexibility in timing. It's time to devote your energy to smart learning and not running. Enroll today and excel in UPSC prelims with a strong command of current affairs.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News Today. Without delay, let's have a look at the headlines first. Over 15,000 Indian migrants deported from the US since 2009, says Minister of External Affairs. Monetary Policy Committee of RBI has cut repo rate by 25 bps to 6.25%. India achieves historic milestone of 100 gigawatt installed solar power capacity, according to the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. Cabinet approved restructuring the Skill India program and extension of tenure till 2026. Cabinet extended tenure of National Commission for Safai Karamcharis for 3 years. Union Budget 2025 announced developing 50 top tourist destinations in challenge mode. In our first news for the day, over 15,000 Indian migrants have been deported from the US since 2009, as per the Minister of External Affairs. Let's delve into it. The hotspots of illegal immigration in India include Gujarat, Punjab and Haryana, with many migrants using donkey routes or donkey routes through Latin American countries such as Ecuador, Bolivia and Guyana, which offer visas on arrival to Indian citizens. Additionally, Brazil and Venezuela provide easy tourist visas for Indians. The journey of these migrants is often dictated by human trafficking networks linked to their agents. Several factors contribute to illegal migration, including the lure of better opportunities due to low wages in India, which pushes migrants to seek higher pay in the US. Second, limited legal routes like slow and uncertain legal visa processes force people to take illegal paths. And societal pressure in certain communities such as the Patels in Gujarat, where families even sell land or take loans to migrate. However, the consequences of such migrations are dire. Migrants face risks of robbery, assault and even rape, with crimes often going unreported. The journey, if successful, takes 8 to 10 days, but in many tragic cases, those who perish cannot have their bodies sent home. The high demand for migration has fueled a thriving human smuggling network, with agents and traffickers charging exorbitant fees, often misleading migrants with false promises of jobs and legal status. To curb illegal migration, several measures must be implemented. The enactment of the Overseas Mobility Bill 2024 aims to enhance legal migration and worker protection. Cracking down on fraud by regulating recruiters and ensuring job transparency is also crucial. Strengthening diplomatic ties for fair deportation policies and improved visa access, tackling economic issues such as unemployment and the agricultural crisis, and raising awareness about safe migration and fraud prevention are essential steps towards addressing this growing concern. Effective implementation of these measures could significantly curb illegal migration while ensuring the rights and safety of migrants. Moving on to a significant decision by the Monetary Policy Committee of the Reserve Bank of India. After a 5-year gap, the MPC has cut the policy repo rate under the Liquidity Adjustment Facility or LAF by 25 basis points, bringing it down to 6.25%. Moving on to other key decisions, the committee has decided to continue with a neutral monetary policy stance. This means that the RBI will maintain flexibility in adjusting policy rates based on prevailing economic conditions. Additionally, the GDP growth for the financial year 26 has been projected at 6.7%. On the inflation front, food inflation pressures are expected to see significant softening. However, core inflation is anticipated to rise but remain moderate. Now, let's take a look at the rationale behind these decisions. The MPC notes that inflation has declined and economic growth is expected to recover from the lows of the second quarter of 2024-25. However, excessive volatility in global financial markets, ongoing uncertainties regarding global trade policies, and adverse weather events have all contributed to this cautious approach. To better understand the mechanism, let's take a look at the Liquidity Adjustment Facility or LAF. This is a monetary policy tool used by central banks to manage liquidity in the banking system. It includes both the repo rate and the reverse repo rate. The repo rate is the interest rate at which the central bank lends money to commercial banks, while the reverse repo rate is the rate at which banks can park their surplus funds with the central bank. Now, coming to the Monetary Policy Committee itself. Under Section 45ZB of the amended RBI Act of 1934, the central government constituted the MPC in 2016. The committee consists of 6 members, 3 from RBI and 3 appointed by the central government who hold office for 4 years or until further orders. The MPC is responsible for determining the policy rate required to achieve the inflation target set at 4% within a band of plus or minus 2%. With these measures in place, the RBI aims to balance economic growth with inflation control, ensuring financial stability in the country. Moving on, India has achieved a historic milestone by reaching 100 gigawatt of installed solar power capacity, as announced by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. This achievement marks a significant step toward the country's ambitious target of 500 gigawatt of non-fossil fuel-based energy capacity by 2030. Now, let's get a quick overview of the solar sector in India. India's solar sector has witnessed remarkable growth, with installed capacity surging by 3,450% from 2.82 gigawatt in 2014 to 100 gigawatt in 2025. Solar now contributes 47% of India's total renewable energy capacity, making it the leading renewable energy source. In 2024 alone, utility-scale installations reached 18.5 gigawatt, marking a 2.8-time rise from 2023, while rooftop installations hit 4.59 gigawatt, growing by 53%. Rajasthan, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, and Madhya Pradesh lead in solar energy adoption. Additionally, solar module production capacity has expanded from 2 gigawatt in 2014 to 60 gigawatt in 2024, with a target of 100 gigawatt by 2030. Now, let's look at the significance of solar energy for India. Solar energy plays a crucial role in meeting India's future energy demands. With energy consumption 3 times the global average and expected to drive 25% of global demand growth in 20 years, solar power enhances self-sufficiency while reducing environmental impact. Additionally, under its updated nationally determined contributions, India aims to cut emissions intensity by 45% and achieve 50% non-fossil fuel capacity by 2030. The shift in solar energy also addresses water security concerns, as it does not rely on water like coal-based power generation. Moreover, it plays a key role in rural electrification by supporting off-grid power generation with fast capacity expansion and expanding electricity access to remote areas. Several initiatives have been launched to promote solar energy adoption. The PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana aims to provide solar power to 1 crore households by March 2027. The Solar Park scheme facilitates the establishment of solar energy projects by providing developers with ready infrastructure and statutory clearances. To attract foreign investment, the government has permitted 100% FDI in the sector under the automatic route. Additionally, the Green Term Ahead Market or GTAM enables solar energy trading through exchanges, further promoting clean energy usage. Despite these advancements, challenges remain. High installation costs, land acquisition hurdles, grid instability, the impact of heat waves, and reliance on imported solar panels need to be addressed to sustain and accelerate India's solar energy growth.
The Cabinet has approved the restructuring of the Skill India program and extended its tenure till 2026. Launched in 2015 under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, This ambitious initiative aimed to train 40 crore people by 2022 through key programs like the National Skill Development Mission or NSDM, National Policy for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship 2015, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana or PMKVY, and the Skill Loan Scheme. Now, with the restructuring, Skill India has been consolidated into a single central sector scheme, bringing together three major initiatives that have already benefited over 2.27 crore people. These three components are Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana 4.0, Pradhan Mantri National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme or PMNAPS, and the Jan Shikshan Sansthan or JSS scheme. Let's begin with Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana or PMKVY 4.2. This phase of the program provides NSQF-aligned skill training through short-term training and recognition of prior learning. A major focus is on international mobility and upskilling workers, along with preparing for the future by introducing over 400 new courses in emerging technologies like AI, 5G, cybersecurity, green hydrogen, and drones. The target beneficiaries for this scheme are individuals aged 15 to 59 years. Next, we have the Pradhan Mantri National Apprenticeship Promotion Scheme or PMNAPS, designed to create a seamless transition from education to employment. By providing real-world exposure, it ensures apprentices develop industry-specific skills. To support both apprentices and establishments, the government will fund 25% of the stipend up to Rs 1,500 per month per apprentice. The scheme is aimed at individuals between 14 and 35 years of age. The third key component is the Jan Shikshan Sansthan or JSS scheme, which offers community-based, flexible and low-cost vocational training at the doorstep, especially benefiting women and rural youth. Beyond skill development, it also promotes health hygiene, financial literacy, gender equality and education. The JSS scheme is integrated with other government initiatives like PM Janman and Ullas, with a target age group of 15 to 45 years. With these reforms, the Skill India program is set to strengthen workforce capabilities, create employment opportunities, and prepare the youth for an evolving job market. In a significant move, the Union Cabinet has extended the tenure of the National Commission for Safai Karamcharis or NCSK for another 3 years. Now, let's take a closer look at this commission. The National Commission for Safai Karamcharis was first established as a statutory body in 1994 through the National Commission for Safai Karamcharis Act 1993. However, with the lapse of this act in 2004, the Commission has since been functioning as a non-statutory body under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Its tenure is now extended periodically through government resolutions. But what exactly is the mandate of the National Commission for Safai Karamcharis? The Commission primarily recommends programs to the central government aimed at eliminating inequalities faced by Safai Karamcharis. It also evaluates schemes meant for the socio-economic rehabilitation of sanitation workers. Additionally, under the Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavengers and their Rehabilitation Act of 2013, the National Commission for Safai Karamcharis plays a crucial role in monitoring implementation, addressing complaints of contravention, advising the government on effective execution, and taking suo motu action in cases of non-implementation. Beyond these responsibilities, the Commission also monitors the working conditions of sanitation workers, including their health, safety, and wages. It regularly submits reports to the government on issues concerning their welfare. But what challenges do sanitation workers continue to face? Their job often exposes them to hazardous working conditions, leading to health issues like skin infections and respiratory problems. Additionally, many sanitation workers come from marginalized communities, facing social stigma and systemic exclusion, which results in a lack of social security and support. To address these issues, the government has taken various initiatives. One such initiative is the National Action for Mechanized Sanitation Ecosystem or Namaste scheme, a joint effort by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment and the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. This scheme aims to prevent hazardous cleaning practices by promoting safe and mechanized alternatives while ensuring sanitation workers receive proper training and certification. Furthermore, under the Swachh Bharat Mission 2.0 guidelines, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs is actively urging urban local bodies to prioritize the occupational safety and overall welfare of sanitation workers. With these efforts in place and the extension of the National Commission for Safai Karamcharis tenure, the government is taking steps towards improving the lives of Safai Karamcharis. However, the real impact will depend on effective implementation and continuous monitoring. Moving ahead, the Union Budget 2025 has brought exciting news for India's tourism sector. A key highlight is the plan to develop 50 top tourist destinations in challenge mode, a move aimed at boosting tourism infrastructure, improving ease of travel, and enhancing connectivity. Now, what does this mean? These destinations will be developed in partnership with states, which will need to provide land for critical infrastructure. Interestingly, this infrastructure will be classified under the Infrastructure Harmonized Master List or HML, ensuring better coordination and investment. But that's not all. Tourism is set to play a major role in the country's economic growth. The budget focuses on employment-led development with initiatives like skill development programs, mudra loans for homestays, and better travel connectivity to tourist spots. There's also a strong emphasis on spiritual tourism, with special attention given to pilgrimage and heritage sites, especially Buddhist destinations. Additionally, medical tourism is getting a boost through the Heal in India initiative, positioning India as a global healthcare hub. Another interesting initiative is the Gyan Bharatam mission, which aims at documenting and conserving India's rich manuscript heritage, preserving knowledge for future generations. Now, let's take a look at the contribution of the tourism sector to India's economy. In financial year 23, tourism accounted for 5% of the GDP and generated a staggering 7.6 crore jobs. On the global stage, India received 1.8% of world tourism receipts and ranked 14th worldwide in total tourism earnings in 2023. While these developments promise growth, the tourism sector still faces key challenges. One major issue is tourism seasonality, where fluctuating tourist members often lead to service shortages. Infrastructure gaps, including poor connectivity and a lack of essential facilities, continue to hinder tourism growth. Safety concerns also remain a challenge, with issues like harassment and theft posing risks, especially for solo travelers. Additionally, environmental impact is a growing concern, as overcrowding at popular destinations leads to habitat damage and pollution. To address these concerns, the government has already implemented several key measures. Infrastructure development has been strengthened through programs like Swadesh Darshan 2.0, the Prashad scheme, and RCS Udan for improved regional connectivity. On the policy front, initiatives like the National Tourism Policy and e-visa for multiple categories have made it easier for both domestic and international travelers. Moreover, the government is actively promoting thematic tourism, focusing on wellness, culinary, rural, and ecotourism. To streamline the hospitality industry, the Nidhi, or National Integrated Database of Hospitality Industry, has been introduced, creating a digital system for ease of business in the sector. With these initiatives, India is set to redefine its tourism landscape, offering better experiences to travelers while strengthening the economy. In today's Place in News, we will be discussing Panama with its capital, Panama City. India and Panama recently signed an MOU for Indian grant assistance in projects such as roads, community centers, and improvements in education and healthcare. Let's discuss a few key facts about Panama. It is a country in Central America located on the Isthmus of Panama. The Isthmus of Panama is a narrow strip of land that connects North and South America. Panama shares its territorial boundaries with Costa Rica to the west and Colombia to the east, while its maritime boundaries include the Caribbean Sea to the north and the Pacific Ocean to the south. Geographically, Panama's major rivers include the Rio Chagres and Rio Chepo. The country also boasts major mountain ranges such as the Vasera Mountains, Cordillera Central in the west, and the Cordillera de San Blas in the east. Finally, we come to one of the Panama's most notable features, the Panama Canal. This man-made waterway connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, making it one of the world's most strategic canals, alongside the Suez Canal.
As we conclude today's main news, let's have a look at some quick updates. Supreme Court questioned whether a governor can reserve a bill for the president under Article 200 after already withholding assent. According to the Article 200, after a bill is passed by the state legislature, the governor can assent to it, withhold assent, and reserve it for the president's consideration. National Commission for Scheduled Tribes has asked Telangana, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, and Odisha to gather data on tribals displaced from Chhattisgarh due to Maoist violence. The commission was established under Article 338A of the Constitution. SEBI proposed retail algo trading framework. Algo trading automates buy or sell orders using preset conditions for precise execution. Erstwhile, only institutional investors were allowed to use it via direct market access. As per the framework, algo providers must register with exchanges and partner with a broker to sell algos. Union Environment Ministry's Forest Advisory Committee approved the R&D proposal for Dibru-Saikwa National Park. Located in Assam, it is both a national park and a biosphere reserve. It is bounded by the Brahmaputra and Lohit rivers to the north and the Dibru River to the south. A recent study highlighted the threat to rhododendron wati in Nagaland, while new orchid species is recorded for the first time in Manipur. Rhododendron is one of the largest genera of flowering plants with more than 1,000 wild species, mainly found in the Himalayas and Southeast Asia. Recently, a second genotype D1.1 spillover of bird flu virus has been detected among dairy cattle in US. Until now, all bird flu detections in dairy cattle have involved genotype B3.13. Bird flu is caused by avian influenza type A virus. Symptoms include fever, fatigue, cough, sore throat, etc. The Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, in collaboration with Niti Aayog, launched Swavlambini, a women entrepreneurship program for Assam, Meghalaya and Mizoram, aimed at empowering female students in select higher education institutions in the Northeast. Recently, Dashavatar performances in Maharashtra started. It is a traditional theatre form with a history of 800 years. The term Dashavatar refers to the 10 incarnations of Lord Vishnu, who is known as the god of preservation. The performers use bright makeup and costumes, and they are accompanied by 3 musical instruments. Before we sign off, let's challenge your understanding in today's installment of Test Your Learning. Thank you for joining us. We hope you found this episode of News Today engaging. For the solutions to the quiz and to access the PDF version of News Today, remember to visit the provided links in the description.